All right, so in this example, I'm going to show you how we would find the area of a composite figure. So a composite figure means that it is composed of multiple figures. So in this case, we're going to be, this is definitely an activity that you want to draw and you want to color on it and you want to count. So if I want to find this entire thing, it's an odd shape and I only know how to find the area of two things, triangles and rectangles. So the first thing you want to do is break it down into the shapes that you do know. So in this case, this is a triangle. All right. So this is my triangle. So I'm going to use this space here to find the area. We're just going to color it in here. I'll tell you that right now. Now that is, and then the next thing I have, let's do blue. This is my rectangle. Okay. I'm just going to color it in. So I just broke my shape, my composite shape, into two things that I know how to find the area of. I know how to find the area of a rectangle, and I know how to find the area of a triangle. So let's go ahead and try with let's do the triangle first, okay? So the triangle, the area of a triangle is base times height and then cut it in half, divided by 2. So my area, my base, even though this 18 is down here, if this whole side down here is 18, that means that this side here is 18 as well. So is 18 times my height, which is 9, divided by 2. So my area is 18 times 9, which is 162 divided by 2. And then 162 divided by 2 is 81. So my triangle has an area of 81. So now let's go ahead and find the rectangle. The rectangle is the easier one to find. So the area of a rectangle is just, base times height or length times width. Oh, I'm sorry, my color went away. Let's do this again. Sorry, is length times width. So in this case, my length, one of them is 12 and one of them is 18. So it doesn't really matter which one goes first. So 12 times 18. So 12 times 18 is 216. So that means my area here is 216 and my area up here is 81, but it wants the whole composite figure. So then you need to take your two areas and add them together. So my area is 81 plus 216. 216 plus 81 is 297, and this would be your final answer. It might say yards squared, which is fine too, but as long as you're looking for 297. So you have to break it down into shapes that you do know. Okay, let's do another example. In this case, again, we have to go ahead and try to find this composite figure. Now, a composite figure, the cool thing about this topic is that you can break it down into there's a variety of ways that you can cut up a figure to make it how you would like to. So for example, you can maybe find the area of this whole square and then cut out or subtract this blank spots. You could do that if that's how your brain wanted to work. But let me, so there's a couple of ways that we can go about doing this so we can cut it up. So I want to, okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to do some example. What if I wanted to cut it up this way? And I told you cut it up first, get your sides, and then we'll worry about the rest of it. So we're going to break it down. So this first side is a 7 by 2 because it's 7 here and 2 here. This one, now I don't know how long it is, but I can figure it out because I know that this whole thing is 12. This whole thing is 12. So if this part takes up 2 of it, this part takes up 2 of it, and this part takes up 2 of it, that means, so 2, 4, 6, that means that these each must be 3. So this side right here is 3. This side right here is 3. So this, and then how tall it is, well, if this whole thing is 7, this is tricky, and this portion of it's 5, that means all of these must be 2 tall. All of these are 2. Okay, so this part 7 by 2, this part is a 2 by 3. This square is a 2 by 5 because we need the whole side, which is this 2 plus the 3. We're cutting this up a lot, man. This is a 2 by 5, this is a 2 by 3, and this is a 2 by 7. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some math here. So this side, this rectangle is 7 by 2, so it's 14. So I'm going to put my first area over here because I know that I'm going to have to add them all together. This rectangle we decided here was a 3 by 2, which is 6. This rectangle we decided was a 5 tall and 2, which is 10. This is also a 2 by 3, which is another 6. And then this one is 7 inches by 2, which is 14. So again, we're just going to add them all up. So we have 14 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6 plus 14. So this entire thing is going to equal 50. All right, so this one's not as bad. That last one was a little bit wonky. It just takes some practice. But this one, again, we want to go ahead and we want to cut it up into levels that are to rectangles and triangles. So the first thing I think of is this. I'm going to draw like a line right here, okay? And we're going to find the area of this rectangle up here at the top, because then I can find the area of the bottom one. So this top one here is my two sides for a rectangle are 6 and 2. So I just have to do 6 times 2. So up here is 12. Now let's go ahead and find the bottom, which the bottom one is down, is down here, this big guy. And it looks like it is a 7 by 10. So 7 times 10 is 70. So you would just add the two together and get 82. This one's not nearly as bad. All right, let's do a couple more with the rectangles, and then I'm going to show you guys ones with triangles. Okay, got some shapes here. We got lots of shapes. All right, so let's see where we're at. Let's see now, sometimes when you cut a shape, you can't always cut it the same way, but so I recommend cut it first, get your sides, then add up your areas. Okay, so let's just give this a try. What if I cut this here and here? Let me make sure that I know my sides. So this base right here, I know that the whole side here is 6, but I don't know this whole side, but I can use this side to figure it out. So this entire side here is 2 plus 2 more plus 2. So this whole side is 6 as well. I don't know what I was going with that. I can do that better. So we have this whole side is 6 here, and this whole side is 6 here. So my whole area is 36, because 6 times 6 is 36. So now let's do up here. My entire width is 3, and my entire height is 8. So 3 times 8 is 24. Let's do purple. This one, my length, or how wide it is 8, and it's 2 tall, so that's 16. So then you just take these three numbers and add them up. So 24 plus 36 plus 16 is 76. Hardest part, I think, is cutting it up. You got to cut it up the right way. All right, let's do some with triangles. Let's do some with triangles. So this one, you have to kind of see the triangle in it, and then we can go ahead and cut it up into rectangles. Usually I start with cutting up into triangles. So in this case, I'm going to cut this here, and I'm going to cut it here. So let's go ahead and find the area of this triangle. So the area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 100, or divided by 2. All right, so I need to just find this base, but that isn't 16. The 16 covers this whole entire thing. All right, so what I need to do though is I need to be like, okay, so but I just need this portion. Okay. All right, so maybe I can just subtract this. Well, not necessarily, because this whole thing is 9 from up here. So that won't count. So maybe let's try a different tactic. If I know, oops, sorry, let me grab a different color. If I know that this whole thing is 9, and I know that this portion is 2, that means this portion takes up 2. This must be 7. If this whole thing is 9, this must be 7, and then 16 minus 7 is 9. Again, we just had to use all these other pieces to help us find it. But get your sides first. Focus on just one side at a time. So I know when I'm trying to find this triangle, my base is 9. My height, well, I only have this portion of it. It says it's 8, but I can find this portion of it by using over here. So this whole chunk here is a 2 and then 2 more. So this must be 8 plus 2 plus 2, which is 12. This entire height must be 12. And then divided by 2. So let's go ahead and put it in our calculator. 9 times 12 is 108. Oops. 108 divided by 2 is 54. So this whole area is 54. Now we already did a lot of the work to find these other cute little triangles. So this one, I know that my side is 7. And I already did my height because we determined it was 2 plus 2, which is 4. So 7 times 4 is 28. And then this one's super cute. It's just a 2 by 2, which is 4. So let's add up all of our areas. So we have 54 plus 28 plus 4. 86. There we go. So again, I went through these kind of fast. Feel free to pause them or review them. It's not an easy topic. It takes some practice, but I'm not worried. You're going to be fine. It just takes some practice on cutting it up and looking at the bigger picture.